Hey Riley, how you doing? So, I was going through some of your last week's sketches, and I'm looking at these, and I'm thinking, it seems like a lot of these haven't really changed the intent of the original piece, or there's something that people have been doing for so long. This one's interesting, I think, because it's a salt shaker that you have changed into a watering device. So that's pretty interesting, and I think something like that would work on, like, those plants called orchids. I know they're terribly difficult. They're so easy to overwater that maybe something really small like this would help on that kind of plant. Um, but over here you have the jar as a planter. Well, a jar basically is a planter. I mean, a planter is basically a jar, so there's not a whole lot of change of intent there. Likewise with the clothes hanger and the paper clip. It seems like those would be some tools that you would use to jimmy a lock, so to speak. I could never do that. I used to try all the time when I was a kid, and it just doesn't work. You have to know what you're doing. But and then the newspaper as a fly swatter. I mean, that's kind of like, everybody does that, so it's not really a unique idea. Did you see what I'm saying? And then over here, the white pages for the high chair. I mean, boy, my mom was doing that, and I was born in the '60s, so people have been doing that forever. Then the dime as a screwdriver, absolutely. I mean, everybody's done that. What I'm getting at is I'm just not seeing these really unique ideas. That's why I thought this one was such a good idea, is because you're taking a cowboy boot and completely changing the intended use for it. Did you see what I'm saying? So I think that's particularly strong. Now let's go to your iteration that you submitted for this week, which wasn't included in your original. And we see this as a watering can that's basically being used as a watering can. It's a watering bottle that's being used to water a plant. So again, we're just not changing the original intent here. So I'm fine if you want to stick with this. Basically it's illustration. So the whole idea here is how are you presenting this in a logical way? And I say absolutely yes, because you have the water bottle, you're showing to unscrew the water bottle, you're showing to take the top off, although I don't think that step is necessary. I think that the jump between this and this is a logical one. So you fill it with water, you replace the cap, you turn it upside down, and you spray drops on the little tiny plant that grows into the big plant. Everything works perfectly. I think Paul stated that he thought that the timeline could be more interesting, and I totally agree with that. Maybe you could have a leaf coming off here and acting, a vine or something. I don't know what you're going to do, but try to find something that can connect these in terms of a timeline. And I think the vine example is a pretty good one. But other than that, I think you're showing good intent here. So the other thing I wanted to mention is that it's trying to be not quite so linear. So in other words, you're going this step, this step, this step, and then each one is like a parallel from the last. So maybe you could try to, and this will help if you do incorporate a timeline like Paul suggested, the vine. You don't have to have these so regimented, so it's boop, 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 boop. You can have it this one here, then maybe this one coming over here, and then this one coming over here, and then over here, and then down here. Do you see what I'm saying? Instead of just being this straight kind of linear progression. Anyways, good job. I'm really looking forward to seeing if you want to change based on my comments. I think the cowboy boot's a really good idea, because it's really one of the only examples where you've completely changed the intent of the object itself. But as I said, it's not that important, because this will work because you are showing very clearly the intent of how you intend on how you plan on using this particular instrument in a way that's not quite exactly what it was originally intended for. All right, good job. Any questions? Give me a holler. Thanks, man.